What's up? Hey, what's up? Sorry, I had some technical difficulties. My browser froze for a second there. Just getting everything reset up. How are you doing today? Sorry, my browser is moving so slow. This is ridiculous. I think it's my computer in general, but alright. There we go. Okay. Just wanted to make sure everything was working. I do have the Tornado V3. Oh, sorry, let me get my background back to correct here. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I have the V3. I actually have two of them, which I got. So I got a Pioneer in the beginning, and I literally before they even had UV coated versions, and then they came out with a UV coated version, and then they had a bunch of problems and whatnot, so I held off. But so then like a year later, I got another one, another Pioneer that was UV coated, and it's funny because they're totally different cubes. Like I feel like the first one, the first Tornado I got un-UV coated felt a lot like the Diane Guhong. Um, but no, I haven't had any problems with it. That's why I bought the second one. My first one I got, and I don't know if that was before the batches they had problems with, but mine it didn't really have any issues. So I mean I literally so like I can't well so let me take that back. So I had one magnet in one corner. You know how like on the V3 you can see the exposed magnets that like came kind of loose, I guess. Like and I think it was but it was honest to be fair, I think it's from like me dropping the cube repeatedly and like it getting banged around. I think I even dropped it from like onto the hard floor from the table. So like I don't really think it was the cube. I think it like went through some heavy like abuse and I think that one of the magnets it literally got slightly dislodged and all I did was tap on it and it slipped right back into place. So like I can't really even call that a complaint because I mean it literally was like no work to fix it. It was so easy. Uh, but yeah, it was and since then it's never had another problem. So personally, like I said, I can't say anything but good things about the cube. Um, Some people just for some reason don't like it, and I don't know why, but I think it feels great. But yeah, the original one, like I said, reminded me of a lot of the Guhong Pro because it had that semi-gloss plastic, and it was like I don't know how else to explain, but it had that like semi-gloss kind of feel, and it was so so like squishy when you felt like moved the cube. It felt so like flexible. It felt like the whole core was flexing, but in a good way, not in like a bad way. It felt like if you had any like um so this is the YS3M 20 mag. So honestly, I mean it's nice and all, but I put this in my video that I made last night. Um, yeah, I kind of feel the same way. Like I think that I mean, I think it makes the YS3M like relevant again in a way because I think YS3M got like sadly overshadowed by all the releases. But I also feel like to be 100% like my BallCore UV one, which I honestly think I like the feel of this better. There's nothing wrong with this cube that needed to be fixed. Where like the Waylong or the WRM-V9, the way they like added the 20 mag core, like I feel like they I don't even that like didn't make sense because they had the super Waylong and then they devalued their best cube by adding a 20 magnet core to the V9. But I will say like the V9 it works better. Like the whole setup, like with this one, it makes it really fast, but it's so blocky that it doesn't quite fit the speed. And it could just be maybe like my lack of skill or something, but I think it's a little bit excessive. Like I said, nothing is wrong with the BallCore UV1. Like this is a great cube. It's very fast and it's actually a little bit snappier and a little bit like it has a little more like quick response time. Where this one feels, even though I've tightened it, I've added lube, like it still feels a little bit more sloppy. Even though like I've got this cube actually tighter, this one's pretty wide open and it feels more rigid and stable. Someone asked me last night too about the stability of this, and this definitely takes away from the stability. You'd think that the more magnets in the core would make it more stable, but it actually just makes it so fast and like loose that I think it took away everything that was good about the BallCore UV version. So I would recommend, I mean, between all of them, I recommend probably between just the YS3s or any cube. UV core. So I have a core magnetic VIN cube coming on the way, and I also have a core magnetic kit coming for my Aosu. I'm gonna magnetize my Aosu myself, and I'm gonna also get a, like I said, get a core magnetized VIN cube. Yeah, I've already tried the core magnetic VIN cube from my neighbor's. He's sponsored by PyCube Shop, and it's really nice. It's really stable. It adds up just hardly any weight, and it feels really nice. Yeah, this is the regular VIN cube, and it's funny because I didn't put any lube and hardly set it up because I liked the way it was right out of the box. Because now that they fixed the problems, it's actually a solid cube. And I do believe it is better than the MGC. Like I've also taken them both apart side by side and looked at the pieces, and there are some piece differences that would make them. So my recommendation for any cube right now is the WRM V9 Special Edition. That's my favorite by far. I don't think I have it in here because I brought just YS3Ms to compare, but and a couple big cubes, but yeah, I think that's got to be one of the best cubes. For me, like I personally add maglev back in, which I know some people think is silly because they took the maglev out, but it's just I'm not gonna buy a Tengen V2. I was thinking about getting a Tengen V1 just because everyone I've ever talked to said that the turning is fantastic, but I actually I found a WRM 2019 that I really like, and I think I bought one of those it's already been core magnetized, and I decided to go with that instead. It was kind of, because I was trying to find like a retro or more like older cube that turned really nice, that maybe people just kind of are forgetting about over time, and the Tengen was one of them. The Tengen V1 was. I have never tried the GTS3M. I would be very curious how it feels, because it's the one with ridges, correct? The 4x4 parity, I mean, it's just like really like any algorithm. You just need to practice it for like a day or whatever, and you'll get it down. It's not bad. And there's multiple different ones too. Like I do a different parity algorithm than like my neighbor does. But I would recommend learning the wide move one. I think I didn't learn that one, and I regret it now because I'm learning it now, and I wish I would have just been using it the whole time. It's a lot faster. The one where you move like a single layer like that one's just, it's not as fast in my opinion. Nice, congratulations, Ruben. Welcome, buddy. So if you ever have a problem like that with the cubicle, I mean, so I don't know how annoyed they are with me or not, but like I'm pretty outspoken about it. I'll email them immediately. I mean, if you go to the contact us part, you can even put in your order number, and they can pull up exactly who you are and what you ordered. That way when they contact you, they can let you know what's going on with it. But yeah, I'll put in an inquiry about my order, and I'll say exactly that, like, hey, I placed my order 4 days ago, and it was supposed, because a lot of times I get a big order, and you're supposed to get expedited shipping, which is 1 to 3 days, and if they take 4 days to send it out, how is it supposed to get here in 1 to 3 days? That's not cool. So yeah, I'd contact them. You generally avoid wide moves. Well, it's not like, I don't know, I don't know what to say. Like, it's not like a wide move like on a 3x3. It's something that's like absolutely necessary. I mean, even if you do the other one, you still do a wide move. You just turn the other layer back usually. Um, on 4x4, it's something you just kind of gotta do. Um, like both parity algorithms that I know use wide moves. I honestly don't know of any that don't, and it's just because you're on a 4x4, like you to move this inner layer, because you're trying to switch these two layers. So like to move that one, like you have to move both. Even if you move, like I said, even if you do that to move the other one back, like you're still moving essentially. Like you got to do a wide move and then move do an R prime to move it back. Oh. Oh, well then what are you complaining about? You know why it's not there. Yeah, I also wanted to like, kind of want to take this, oh, let me get my screwdriver, sorry. Oh, I do have a screwdriver right here. Because I also want to, because the whole reason I did the post about the RS3M 2020 and the YS3 being so similar is I finally got the RS3M 2020 UV coated version, a couple weeks ago or whatever, and so I've been cubing with it, and I got really familiar with the look and the feel and everything, and I just, for some reason, when I pulled the YS3M out of the box, and it had this really, really, like, for some reason, even this version I thought was bigger. Someone on the comments said that, oh, well, the RS3M is bigger, but like, it's actually, when you compare it to the new YS3, they're like identical. It's the first YS3 BallCore UV feels slightly smaller to me. I mean, this could just be my like, imagination, but look, does this one not look bigger? Just by like the smallest hair of a size. And that's why I said then when you put these by each other, they look very similar. I don't know why, but the YS3M BallCore UV is like a hair smaller. I wish I had calipers to get the exact. Um, Yellow, welcome. So right now it's the WRM special edition, the V9 special edition. I I, I usually re-add maglev back to mine. I always like make sure to let people know that because it's technically not just the special edition then. Yeah, it's interesting because there's the BallCore UV. Oh no, that's not. Oh, that's so weird. So this is actually the RS3M, and I literally got them confused for a second. Um, Jesus, thing turns fast. But yeah, I want to take some pieces out, and what I want to do is kind of compare and see what's different about these. Someone also commented how they missed the colored plastic on the inside of the MoU cubes. They said they didn't like it. They're going to all primary colors, and I could see that. It was kind of a cool thing that they had like all their own different colors and whatnot. I don't have a super way long. I did not go for that one. It just when I did the math on, you know, what you were getting, I just felt like you were paying a lot for those adjustable magnets. And then like a week later, they released the 20 magnet WRM V9, and I just felt like that was that perfect spot, like that sweet spot right there. Like you get your 20 magnet core, and you get it for like $47 instead of $100, and you don't get all the silly packaging that comes with it too. My main 4x4 right now, I mean, I guess it's the Vin Cube, but that's just because of what it's new and I'm getting used to it and whatnot. But like, it was the Aosu forever. That's another one. Like, it's I've said this a few times. As I've gotten better at cubing, like I need my cubes to get faster, so I need to clean them out. And 4x4s and 5x5s, and any big cube are not the funnest to clean. So I really need to clean that one out, and that's where I'm getting. Like I said, I bought a magnetic core for it. So I'm gonna magnetize, like magnetic core my Aosu, and at that point I'll clean it also. And I'm thinking it's gonna be pretty darn sweet at that point. So it's gonna be tight because I also have a bulk or magnetized core Vin Cube on the way. So it's gonna be probably a toss up between those two. Like I said, I don't have a super way long. The 20 magnet V9 was plenty for me. But yeah, I do have I don't know who you're talking to, but I do have the Aosu. I have like a lot of 4x4s. I think I have like 10. Welcome, McKenna. Yeah, the Aosu's smaller. See, this is the reason, like, everyone always, like I said, I'm only trying the Vin Cube out. I was never an MGC fan. I've always used the Aosu, or I actually use the Meilong. I like the Meilong also better. It's lighter, it's smaller. Any smaller cube, honestly. I even have the Zhilong or the Jisoo Mini, YJ Mini. That was my main for the longest time, and it still is a contender. But that one needs to be cleaned as well. It's just they all feel over gummy at this point. Now that I've gotten a little faster and I want to, you know, turn at quicker speeds, you know, you just don't want that such a gummy feel. Yeah, the Aosu is interesting. It's like it's very compact and dense, and it feels a little bit like heavy, but really small. I love that feel. Yeah, MGC. You notice MGC came out with their UV coated version. You know that's in response to VinCube. I mean, I thought they were supposed to be from like the same parent brand, but it's funny how they seem to be competing with each other because this cube came out with its $24.99 regular version and $29.99 UV coated version, and then when as soon as they did that, MGC came out with a UV coated version for $25.99 and the regular version for $19.99. So I don't know. I found all that very interesting. I guess I should do a scramble on the screen. Yeah, like I said, there is some piece differences. If you like take the actual cube apart and you look at the pieces side by side, there are some differences that they made, but they are pretty subtle also. Like I can't say that. Like yeah, if you were an MGC owner, I don't know that I would tell you to go out and get a VIN, or like it would be some new experience. I think it would be very similar. If it wasn't on sale, you don't need UV. Yeah, UV is such a personal preference thing. It just depends on what you want. Am I ever gonna learn 3-blind? Maybe. A lot of people are into blind right now, I've noticed. It's a big event right now. But yeah, the MGC and the VIN are just, they're both big. And that's where, like I said, the VIN feels nice. Like I just finally like put a little lube in it and got it really feeling nice, where it's not slowed down really at all. But it's just big. And I have big hands even, so I can't. I don't even have any reason to complain. But it is like. Not recently. I'm moving, and I'm in the middle of a move, so I've been kind of not practicing as much as lately, or as I should lately. I only like UV if the other coating on the cube is matte. The YS3M Elite, probably not. At this point, I have quite a few, and if I haven't heard anything particularly special about it, but it doesn't mean it's not good. It just means I haven't heard anything yet about it. I am very tempted to go ahead and get a YS5 though. Plus, I've been working more on, like I was talking about last time we were in here, about training to do better with less rotations. Not worrying as much about time as I am about like efficiency, I guess. So. There's still some awkward cases I get where I'm yeah, this thing, it doesn't have the like this is tight. I mean, look at how, like I said, look how loose. I mean, you can see the oh god, I can't get through it. I turn it, can't get there. You can like see the edging of the footing in there though. Like this one is pretty darn tight where you can't really see that, and this one still feels. I mean, it feels fast, but it doesn't feel stable. And so I have the GAN 12. It's so funny. I swear you guys have asked me about like 3 different cubes that are literally in the mail on the way here. Like the GAN 12 is on its way here. The my BallCore Vin cube is on the way. I mean, I have a bunch of cubes coming from PyCube Shop, but I do have the GAN 12 UI. I have the Smart Cube, but there's some actual differences in that also. Like the corner to core magnets are different. There's a whole bunch of differences because they had to change it to be able to accommodate the computer inside. So I actually wanted a real GAN 12, so I ended up ordering one. So my PB was a 14.4 that I got a while ago now. That's why, like I said, I haven't had any PBs recently. You'd hear about them. If I'd most likely be recording it and then I'd post it or something. I feel like you guys would be the first to know about it. Oh well, welcome back. Sorry, I had some problems. I don't know if what's up with that, but I had some like laggy issues. I had to reset things when it first started. So hopefully hopefully that's all working for you now. Do you use the GAN 12? Do you like that cube? I love it. My buddy has one, and I've used his whenever I can, and I was like, okay, I need to go ahead and just pony up and buy one. Oh man, that was a 3 mover and I didn't even see it at first. Shame on me. Yeah, so it is really nice. The GAN 12 is like so light. So the GAN 13 I have, and it's like it's great, but when you feel the GAN 12, yeah, I don't blame you. That's like I said, that's why I ordered one. Is the GAN 12 was that perfect like lightweight under 70 grams. I think it's like 68. Um, and it has really good corner to core magnetization, so it's pretty stable, but really light. And if you want to really get moving, I mean, it really, that's why I think the pro solvers use it, is like it's so easy to move and do finger tricks with and whatnot, because it's got such little resistance and it has such a nice core magnetization going on. And the GAN 14 Pro, I would love to try. It's so hard to know now because they've had such mixed reviews with their new cubes, but I still would love to try it. Same with like I got a whole I don't think he's in here, but I got a email from someone that's usually in here. I think it's Scooby Cuber or is it E-cubing? I forget now, but let me look. He sent me a really interesting yeah, from GAN. So it says that GAN has disclosed its new product plan for 2024, which will be launched one by one this year. GAN 15 series, GAN second level, GAN fourth level, GAN fifth level, GAN Megaminx, GAN Square 1, GAN New Intelligence, GAN higher level Rubik's Cube. It is speculated that the next new product will be the GAN 14 Maglev Pro. New smart products, which may include GAN 356 iCarry 2S, the GAN robot, and etc. So it's very interesting. It sounds like GAN's going to release a lot of products. So, and if there's any GAN fans in there or in here, definitely keep your eyes out this year. I feel like it's going to be a big year for them. I think a lot of that is probably in response to how many releases Moyu did. So it'll be interesting. They're going to release the GAN 14 Pro and they're going to release the GAN 15 right after. But yeah, see, like this cube to me, it just like it feels too loose. I don't know if maybe the magnet, like the piece-to-piece magnets, need to be stronger, but like it feels loose and like, yeah, right, a GAN Squan. What the heck? I had that was funny. That's the one that stuck out to me, and I'm not even the biggest Squan solver, but like I do enjoy it. And yeah, this is by no means is this gonna be like my new main. It just like I really honestly just want to pick up the BallCore UV one and use that. Like there was nothing wrong with this cube. I don't know that they needed. I think they just really wanted to give the Huaming YS3M another like chance at making it after they worked with the designer and everything. But I just think that it was a shot that they took and a little bit of a shot and a miss. Like it's not like it's a bad cube or anything. Don't get me wrong. It's just I don't know how much tighter I can make it without feeling like it's then just gonna lock up a ton. Like but I do want to check something. So I'm gonna do a little. I definitely can't get the piece out of that. Thing's so tight. Yeah, I just got a Square One recently. That's why I said I'm not like fast at it yet, but I do enjoy it, and I don't know. It's not. I feel like it's not too bad to get the algorithms down. It's cool how they're written in a different way because it's not right, left, all that. It's interesting. Yeah, I love that how the. That's why I'm excited. So in my package coming from PyCube Shop, I also have a bunch of core magnetization. Like I said, for the Aosu, but I also have ones for all the RS series. I have ones for all the WRM series. So like and the ones for the worm work for the YS3M also, which also again shows you how similar the cubes are if their core packages work for multiple different cubes. But I'm gonna take this RS3M 2020, and that's why I got the UV coated version, is because I got the UV coated version, put maglev in it, and now I'm gonna put a BallCore in it, and this will essentially be, like the RS3M Super V2 essentially, or something like that. It'll be very close to a cube like that. It's gonna have all the features that the new cubes have. Because it's not going to really be like the RS3M Super, because that one's kind of a different shape. Like this is, I mean, not just like the actual features, but also the shape and look of the cube. I feel like this is going to be very similar to like the Super V2 or something. But that's a project I'm going to be working on once my package gets here. But yeah, like even like this is again the RS3M versus the YS3M. Like even their center caps, they're slightly different. One's a little taller and one has an extra ridge or whatever, but they're so similar, it's ridiculous. They get away with a lot of reproduction of the same ideas, I feel like. But at the same time, you have to also think like, if it's working, if it ain't broke, why fix it, kind of thing, you know. Anyone have any awesome plans for the weekend? See, like I have to keep loosening this YS3M because it is so tight. I had it tightened down so much. Yeah, it's so interesting too that I haven't gotten many GAN puzzles lately. It's a shame because I was such a big GAN fan when I first started, and they just kind of fell off at the same time as like everything else were taking off. So here's like a little comparison. One thing I noticed, like, so this is on the RS3M. It has like dual tracks. Sorry, let me turn off this extra light. I think it's overexposing the picture here and making it hard to see. So if you can see on there, there's two. God, that's terrible. This camera is garbage. Okay, you can see somewhat though. There's two sets of tracks, which is interesting because that's the RS3M, and then on the YS3 they went to like a single track with the edge repelling magnet. So let's go, and as far as like piece design, this one has just like the straight line grooves, and this one has the dragon scale pattern, which is I think the dragon scale is like their new go-to. But if we go down a little bit deeper and look at like the corner pieces, and this is because a lot of people were commenting on when I said these cubes look the same. They're like, but the internals were so different, and that's true. That's why I also wanted to show that off. Like, so here's your YS3M corner piece, and here's your RS3M. So you can see one actually has this one has like a long corner stock and everything. It's just very different. Even the ridges, those ridges along the tracks are very pronounced or profound, where these ones are very subtle. And again, the piece actually extends out more, like this part of the coloring, instead of having a longer corner stock. Because if you put them side by side, they come to about the same place. Like this one's a slight bit longer, but they're not much. But yeah, it's going to be interesting when you look inside the core there. That's going to have a BallCore in it in about a week or so, and I'm very curious how all that's going to work out, because there's very little room in there because of that double track design that I was showing you on the RS3. There's very little room inside because there's an extra layer of plastic going in. "13 with dot case? What is that?" Is there a new case I don't know about? Alright, let me just put these back together. But yeah, anyways, the internal design of these are absolutely different. I didn't mean to imply that it's exactly the same cube. It just started to see, as like I said, I started cubing on the RS3, you know, a lot more as I got it, and I just started to notice certain little features and little things that reminded me of each other. Oh, I thought you meant you got a GAN 13 with like a some kind of case for it, and I was like, huh? I was still thinking about the GAN puzzles everyone was talking about. See, and the other reason that I kind of have a hard time endorsing the YS3M is because I honestly think that this RS3 feels better and probably cubes even a little better. Like, if I had to give you my honest opinion there, I would say, oh, this has that really like loose screw right now. Let me tighten this because this is crazy loose. This is gonna go flying apart on me, I felt like. But that's really how this cube feels. Like, if it's not wrenched down pretty tight, it feels like it's just gonna go flying apart. I do like this like snappiness of like when you go to like on your there and on those two U primes at the end of a J perm, like I like how snappy that like those layers are. It moves fast, don't get me wrong. It feels great when it moves, but I honestly think that this technology, the 20 magnet core, works better in the WRM series. And I even brought one just because, like, when you're going this fast and you have all this like this increased performance, those like blocky corners and stuff that they have, like, it just doesn't work as well. Like, for some reason it worked better with the more stable version. I mean, even I honestly almost like the standard matte, like this is the standard matte version of the YS3, and I'm going to be BallCoring this also. I have, like I said, I have BallCores coming from PieCube Shop, and I'm going to put a BallCore in this. It has maglev, and it's going to essentially be like any other high-end cube now. Yeah, I still do two look on some things. Like, it just depends on the case. Like, if I haven't memorized that OLL, or if I'm, you know, not comfortable with it yet or something, if I'm in on a time solve, I'll sometimes do two look. I remember how excited I was just to get my PLLs memorized. I still remember the day when I like finally, because I put off G perms till the very end. As like I'm like, oh, I really don't want to have to learn those, but I just finally was like, okay, today's the day. And I remember I learned all four in one day, and I was just like, oh, thank goodness, I'm done with that part now. And then it was just getting them more fluid, obviously, getting them more like. Yeah, I really like my RS3M 2020. Like, I was pleasantly surprised. I bought that cube like 100% just because the same reason. Oh, I mean, I guess the same reason I got the 2019 that way long is I feel like there's some great cubes from years ago that they're either discontinued or they're getting like kind of pushed out, and before they're lost and gone and I can only find them from another cuber, I want to try and, you know, collect some of those. And so like this one, the RS3M 2020, like I've heard so many good things about all the RS series in general. Yeah, no, the G perms were easy to learn. I just didn't want to. I didn't like I just didn't like the finger tricks and stuff. Like, they just weren't very fun. they're super easy because they're mirror of each other. Like GA and GC are just mirror of each other, and GB and GD are mirrors of each other. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're mirrored. They're just mirrors of each other. The most confusing part when you learn them is sometimes like I'll be like, wait, I'll start doing the GB and I'll be like, wait, was I doing GB or GD? And then I just like sometimes I would do one wrong turn and then your whole thing was messed up. But yeah, because again, and you don't know that they're the same until you sit there and study them. So like when you first look at them and you're just like, oh, there's 4 G perms. Oh, that sucks. But then you sit down when you're learning them and you dissect the notation. Then you realize, oh, these are actually very similar. And it's like that with a lot of everything, like with your OLLs, PLLs. Like there's a lot of the same parts in there. I mean, that's why they try to give you, parts in parentheses and whatnot. Because anything that's like a repeating part, that's more like a theme that repeats, they try to. Yeah, the GC. GB. The only reason I don't like it is because the first 4 moves, the R prime, the U prime, the RU. I don't know why, but that just feels. Just feels odd to me. And so let's see. Oh no, I said GA. The GA and so the only reason I like the GC is because this is the last 4 moves. I like the GC because you just this part, the double move, and then that part, those finger tricks are cool. That's literally the only reason I like that one. Because GD is one of my least favorite because of the last 4 moves of that. Like, it starts off with just like a sexy move, then you do your D move, R2 U prime, and then it's just a R U prime, and then this is the part I don't like, the R prime U, R2 D prime, because then, especially because my hand is doing all this, the D prime is awkward. I'm trying to learn to push it with my ring finger on this hand instead of trying to use my right hand to do it, because it's a bad regrip to try and just to do that one single flick at the bottom. But yeah, that's why I'm going to be posting more of my Bridging the Gap series, because what that does is I go through all the algs ahead of time, and I find the similarities and how like any little bits of like advice that I can give to try and make it easier for learning things, like figuring out that the G perms are mirrors of each other and whatnot. Like those are some things that if I wish that I had someone to tell me those things going into this, I would have been, I would have been a little bit more and probably enthusiastic about learning them had I known there was kind of some little tricks. And you still got to put in the time, don't get me wrong. So what's up with everyone this weekend? I think I have some family stuff I have to get with tomorrow. That's the only reason I switched to today. Yeah, this is sad how nice this feels. In comparison, this YS3M feels amazing. Oh no! I had over rotation. Enjoy your breakfast! Is it gonna be a bacon BLT? Yeah, this one's fast actually. This YS3M, I gotta say, like, this is why I kind of also compared it to the YS320 BallCore, because it's fast, man. Like, I really like this cube. I could see why wasn't this the J perm cube for a while. I could see why someone would want to make this their. It's got that, like, again, before the YS3M was a thing, it had that stability going for it. So, has anyone oh, that's really cool, Ruben. So that's something. That's one of the reasons I do this channel is because I literally like my neighbor Jacob. That's the only person I've ever met, and that's someone recently that cubes. Like I always wanted to be able to ask questions. That's why I always like people to feel comfortable in here, like asking questions, or if they don't know something, asking a question. Because I wanted a place when I'm still starting out. You know, what I mean, the first few years you're still starting out. It takes a while to get really like professional status or whatever. So yeah, it's so nice to be able to have someone to turn to and just ask direct questions. That's seriously why I do this, is so people can come in here, and even if they don't get the answer from me, you guys usually have one of you has the answer. Yeah, I gotta say the YS3M 2020 feels pretty darn nice. And I have this compress 2 clicks. I don't know why, but I don't like compressing it too much. But I almost feel like I need to more. It just keeps getting tighter and tighter, and I don't know that. Maybe I'll go ahead and take the sides off and just give it each side one more click and like a quarter turn or something, and see if it is. Maybe like it could be that I'm just not giving it a chance, not giving like, because I'm not used to tightening a cube this much. No, I have no other cubes that I've had to tighten this much. I mean, that's pretty tight already. So to say that's not tight enough, that's pretty crazy. Okay. Yeah, again, it's just so interesting because there's nothing wrong with this cube. It's just I feel like the 20 magnet WRM V9 was better, and so at this point it's like either you're got to be a huge YS3M fan, um, it's just otherwise it doesn't make a lot of sense. Oh, my top screw actually, as much as I tightened it back up, it was not as tightened as the rest, so maybe that's what. So tomorrow, if I can, like I said, I think I have a family obligation, but if I can, I'll still do the live stream at 3 like usual. And what I was gonna do is I was gonna magnetize our giveaway cube live. So if anyone has any questions or anything, they can ask. And if you guys just want to hang out, that's totally cool too. Am I talking to myself here, or do we still have people left? Anyone out there? What's up, Ruben? I was just checking. I'm on there's a streaming like program that I use, and you can't see the actual people in the room. So sometimes I just call out, "Hey, is anyone there?" just to make sure I'm not talking to myself here. So I compressed this again. I'm now at 3 clicks, and I've tightened it more than I would tighten any other cube. I mean, that is the tightest I've ever had on a cube. Hey, Nika, welcome. And Rats Are Cubes, welcome, yo. We're trying out the YS3M 20 magnet core, and okay, I've got to be, because I've been brutally honest so far, because I've kind of given this cube a bad review so far, but I will say tightening it helped a lot. Like, that's something I might say everyone's gonna have to do, is tighten it more than you've ever tightened a cube before, because I can say this is what my YS3 BallCore UV is set at. Like, feels great, it feels plush, but with also feeling fast and snappy, and where this one feels a little bit more loose and sloppy. Like, you see how even just there, like as I went to like move away, like it's so fast that it wants to fall out of form a little bit. Again, the 20 magnet core. Oh, nice. Yeah, roux solving is awesome. It kind of just depends what you fancy, but yeah, absolutely. If that works for you, then awesome. I've actually been meaning to learn it because a lot of people ask me about it. Oh, here comes the, yeah. A lot of people ask me about it, and I wish that I had more information to give on it. But yeah, that's starting to feel a lot better. Exactly. That's why I think some people are going to be disappointed in this, is because even let me scramble this real quick. So I have, oh sweetie, you gotta get down. Go ahead. Okay. So yeah, that's why I think that people are gonna be sad when they've gotten the BallCore UV version for cheaper, and then they spend more money to get this, and they end up realizing that they had this like glass slipper all along. Because even I have the standard version here, which is the matte plastic, just standard, and even this one feels slightly more stable, I swear. And my review of this one was that this cube, what I said was it destroyed the good image of stability that this cube gave. Like, the BallCore UV version feels so like a block, but in a good way. It feels so stable. It also has good corner cutting and performance. Like, there's just no real downsides unless you don't like a blocky cube. So that's when you just go to something else. But like, the Huameng or the YS3M has been known for that stability. I mean, like, people interview about that on all pro cubers all the time, and the answer they give is, I like it because it's stable. I can have an aggressive turning style. That's not this cube. It's just gonna be a learning curve for everyone. It's just different. So what was it that you ordered that was on? If you don't, I mean, you don't have to ask if you don't, or answer if you don't want to. But I was just curious, what did you order that was on? My current main is the WRMV9 Special Edition. I love that cube. It's kind of like the perfect sweet spot. It takes very little setup, very little lube or maintenance or anything. I personally like to add maglev back in just because I think it keeps that corner cutting really high when, even if you need to tighten the cube down. But Yeah, when I get this cube tighter, it starts to remind me of the regular BallCore UV version. But I mean, you shouldn't be shooting. You shouldn't spend more money for it to and shoot for it to feel like a cube that you already had or whatever. You know, like this should be blowing people's minds. The Yo Cube to the Vin Cube. And the, oh, cool. That should be fun, man. So you got the YS3M V5 version, the Yo Cube version, and the Vin Cube. Yeah, I'm excited to get I got the BallCore Vin Cube coming. This is just the regular one here. I'm excited to get this. I feel the same way. Mine's coming from China, so I'm just like at the mercy of the mail at this point. That's exciting, man. That's always fun to place a big order, and it's always fun to get too. Yeah, so the YS3M V5 is one of my like backup mains. Like any main or cube that I really like, I usually buy 2 of. And like the YS3M V5, the special edition WRM-V9, and then the 20 Magnet Core V9. Those are the 2 that I make sure to have 2 of. And I have a feeling when I get my GAN 12, I might end up ordering a second one because I have a feeling I'm gonna fall in love with that thing bad. Because I like the UI, but I think I'm gonna really like the actual maglev UV version. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because well, that's fair. I mean, it's a good cube. Oh, I screwed up my own sledge move there. Man, I still don't like lefty J perms. I mean, they're fine, but I'm such a bad left-handed solver. I'm very ambidextrous. Hey, how was breakfast? So, what do you like about the Tornado V3? If you don't mind if I ask, I love it. I have two of them. So, obviously that was another main contender. And the V3 is great. And like I said, I love I just got the YS3M 2020 recently, and I love it. It's actually one of my favorite cubes at the moment. Like, see, like this is what's sad too, is that this feels more stable and less likely to like catch or anything. Like, see, like I just got a catch right there, like in the beginning of the out, and I just got over rotation, like. But yeah, this just feels a little more stable, and it's fast. The YS3M 2020 is fast. It is. The Tornado, like I said, when I first got the Tornado, I loved it so much. I thought it was like just heavenly to turn. I mean, it was so plushy. Because again, I got one of the originals that before UV coating was ever available on it. I got the like semi-gloss version, and I mean, it reminds me a lot of the Guhong Pro, honestly. That like really buttery, soft feeling in that plastic. Um, and but yeah, and then I personally I UV coated my own, which I'm sad because I actually liked the original version. Like once I got it UV coated, I was like, I think I liked it how it was. And it's funny because the V3 is actually kind of heavy. It's like in the 80 something grams, but it does have good performance. It usually corner cuts pretty well. I didn't have many problems with it locking, but that could vary absolutely from person to person. And it all depends too, like if you, because again, like if you have the flagship, like you have a spring, and like this is where everyone knows, anyone that knows me knows I have an opinion about maglev, and I do believe that it increases corner cutting. So like, I don't know if like if you have a flagship or anything, but that could also affect how you're. Yeah, see, I thought they were very similar, like I said, because the original, I'm talking about the original, yeah, that original V3, it was like I said, that semi-gloss plastic, it was like very square, had like very, very sharp edges and whatnot. Anytime they put UV coating on it, it kind of rounds the edges off and whatnot. Um, and well, both of mine are Pioneers, and both of mine corner cut great. Here, I'll go get mine real quick, one second. Okay, sorry about that. Ugh. Got a bunch of cubes actually. So one of the other reasons why it's a little bit hard for me to recommend the YS320 magnet is like I actually just went through cleaning all my cubes and whatnot, and one of the cubes I cleaned was my WRM V9 standard, and this cube flies, man. Like this is one of the ones I'm gonna put a BallCore in this myself. Yeah, and that's fair, Ruben. I mean, that's true too with like a lot of cubes. Like it all depends. Like I can literally like I had a problem on the V9 Special Edition. Like this is my main cube now, but like when I first got it, I had a problem getting the tightness and the corner cutting to match up. Like it didn't want to. If I had it as tight as I wanted it, it didn't want to corner cut right. And if I had it loose enough, it was too loose for me. And like, but then I also realized then like I needed to clean it because it was too gummed up, and that's why I was if it was faster on its own, then I could use it a little bit tighter, and or you know it all made more sense once I figured out the right setup for it. Um, but yeah, again, it's all about like the setup because once like this cube just feels so like I still feel it like I was talking about the flexiness, like it feels like the core is like flexible, but it's really just like you know all the plastic and the pieces and whatnot. But it's very very plush, like so the this one I was saying this earlier too, and apologize if anyone had, or if I'm repeating myself. I just want to make sure I answer these questions for you guys. But so it's a little bit looser, honestly. Like it feels a little bit sloppier. Like the regular BallCore UV, it feels a little more like tight and rigid. I mean, I even have it on a looser setting. Like I have the actual pieces looser, like the whole all the settings looser. I have the compression, the everything looser on that. And even though this one's tighter, it still feels like it's a little bit sloppy. I just finally tightened it up though, like really tight. I mean, you can see like that's as far as you can open it. Like that's much looser than that. But now it's actually feeling good. So it may just be where you had to, again, this is what I'm talking about. You might just have to find that sweet spot because I've found a lot of times like this is why a lot of people want to know, you know, the out of the box opinion when you unbox how the cube is and whatnot. But the problem is a lot of times the cubes are going to change so much between opening it and setting it up and breaking it in and everything. And there are some cubes that are just great out of the box. And I like to talk about, I like to let people know about those too. Like the special edition is one of those for me. Like now that I don't over lube them and I just, you know, get them set up right out of the box, they're beautiful. But yeah, it's like I said, that's about as loose as I can have that, where it doesn't feel like it's falling. And again, the 20 magnet core, you think it would be very, very stable. But what I've noticed, and this is on the V9 too, like the V9's 20 magnet core, it makes it very fast. Like it's still, it's very like, the auto alignment's good because of it, but it's very fast. I think it's okay to, you want to see the adjustments? Is that what you're asking? But yeah, like even just now, like this 20 magnet V9 feels nicer than Did you want to see the adjustments on it? Is that what you're saying? I mean, it's just the standard dual adjustment for MoU. That's the other thing is it's not. There's nothing like there's no adjustable magnets. There's no like special adjustments. There's just it's pretty much the standard thing. And like I said, I have it on 3 clicks. The compression cup is set on 3 clicks. Ooh, sorry, I'm gonna crack my neck. But and then the screw is it's actually pretty tight. I mean. But yeah, it's just whatever gets it. Oh, okay, got you. Do you have lube in yours? Cause I got some lube in mine, and it made it so hard to like, cause I had like. God, it's so funny. This is the first one I ever bought, and I UV coated this myself, and I swear, no matter how many times I clean this thing, it still feels gummy for the first like few moments that I open it up. But like this one even sounds quieter and like this is the new one that came UV coated, and this one is the V3 that I UV coated, and again this is the one that I thought was like very much like the Guhong. And again, if I would have known how much I really liked that, like these days I love the Guhong. I personally I still keep with that daily. Like that's my kind of just take around and have fun with. Um, but yeah, so like I did that. I put some lube in like in the adjustment because I wanted it to seep down into the core, and I think that's actually what happened. That's why it's so like no matter how much I clean it, it still feels slow. Um, Still looks like I could probably clean it more, but yeah, there was a time where I had to clean this out because like it was so there was so much goo in there and stuff that I couldn't see any of my adjustment settings. Um, when this dual adjustment system came out, people loved it. Um, yeah, super quiet. I mean, if you're I travel a lot when I'm on the airplane. I think it's funny because last time I had the YS3M V5, which is like the clackiest cube, and I felt bad for the people around me, but I wanted to recube. um, but yeah, you can see this one, the UV coating and everything came out nice on it. It's a little bit like fingerprinty, but this was literally one of the first cubes I ever did, and I just like I said, I didn't know how much I was gonna like that matte or not matte plastic, but that semi-gloss like the Guhong Pro is, because I would love if this was still un UV coated like that. It makes me tempted to buy one, but at this point I already have 2 V3s and they're gonna come out with a V4 soon, so we'll see about all that. But yeah, I remember this adjustment system was praised when it came out because of the simple nature of the little handle that you can just, of course, like I don't have any fingernails, I just clipped them, but the fact that you could just scoop up this would be like the best commercial of me trying to do it and failing, but yeah, the fact that you could just pop that little like handle up was such a big deal. And I'll be honest though too, like that's part when I pop that up, it's easier to see what I'm doing, and it was easier for me to clean inside of it. Yeah, I don't know when it's supposed to be like any time now. It's just part of the problem is they spent so much time redoing the V3. They redid it and redid it and redid it that they got behind on actually making the V4. That's at least what I heard. Um, so I think that's just going to be TBD at this point. Um, yeah, I promise if you ever get the chance, if you even just to use one, you're gonna love it. But if you ever need like want to take a chance and get a cube that's affordable and also awesome, like I always say the RS3M V5 BallCore UV is like the best cube for the price. But I gotta be honest, the Guhong gives it a run for its money. Like it's only $20 for the maglev or like 15 for the non-maglev. So you could get like the spring version for like 15, $17, something like that, and it's one of the better feeling cubes. It's fast. It's got a magnetic core in it, and the magnetic core, it doesn't have like edge repelling magnets and stuff. It just has nice, strong corner to core magnetization. So when you turn it, it definitely stops at a U1. It always stops at 90 degrees. Um, and it's really nice. I mean, it has a very good autocomplete, especially for a cube that doesn't have all the 20 magnets, the edge repelling magnets, all that stuff. Like it has a very good auto alignment on it. Um, and it's funny because even this cube, I have all these magnets turned down to like their lowest setting, and even this one seems to still do well. And this was after a while. I've never felt the V2. How do you feel the V2 and V3 compare? I mean, to be honest though, like the Guhong Pro also feels kind of light and cheaper, but I don't know. It's just the way it turns, and it's the same with the V5. Like that's why also I'm sure that's why the V5 is so clacky and whatnot because it has like that thin, cheaper plastic. But it's also a much cheaper cube. I mean, you gotta think in comparison. You're getting everything essentially when you get the RS3M V5 BallCore UV version, you're getting everything that the WRM V9 Special Edition has and more because you're getting maglev also. So again, if they have used a little bit lighter plastic or whatever, I kind of understand because it is a lot cheaper. Okay, I got off on a tornado tangent. Gotta love alliterations. The V2 is even quieter, huh? Wow. Does it perform as well? So I have to say, like, I've been really harsh on the YS3M 20 mag, but like coming back from the tornado, like this is what I mean when I say it's kind of sloppy feeling, but like it's just so fast. Like it's the same with the WRM 20 magnet one. Like it wants to turn so much that like I'm barely flicking it, and it's like it just wants to finish that like 90 degrees really bad. Like before I lubed it, it just like whoop, slipped right into there. Um, Actually, kind of it's good because I don't want it to over rotate on me. So what, besides what you don't like, what do you like, William? I feel like all you've said is what all the things you don't like about cubes. And sometimes, like, some people don't want a lot of adjustment. Like, I like the V5 for the fact that there's very little, like I don't personally like the magnet adjustment and whatnot on the V3. Like, I wish that they actually didn't have adjustable magnets. I wish there was less going on. Like, I all I've done is ever turn those magnets all the way down. Um, Interesting. I will say I've never felt the Tornado Standard. I've only felt the Flagship and Pioneer. That'd be interesting. I'd love to feel that. Is anyone doing anything super fun this weekend? So I got a... Yeah, I like those ones that are like 70 or just under 70, like 68 grams is like, ooh, that's why I can't wait to get my GAN 12, because I have the GAN 12 UI, and it's a little heavier because of the computer and stuff, so I'm excited to get the actual version, because it's like 68 grams or something like that, which is just that sweet spot where it feels so easy to turn. And that's one of the reasons too that I don't mind the lighter plastic on the V5, because it's for as like much is going on, it's very easy to turn. Like that's the one thing I will say about all of these 20 magnet versions is they may be a little bit crazy, and they may feel a little bit pointless like after having when the YS3M BallCore UV is a totally viable cube. But I will say they're easier to turn than in any of them. I mean, I can literally go into like baby fingers mode where I'm like barely turning, and they turn. I mean, so it might just be I have a little bit aggressive turning style, and it might just be a learning curve also. I have my nephew has his first t-ball game, and I just figured I can't miss that, especially since I'm moving. I'm about to move away from my sister, and like she has my nephew's her son, and he's the only baby in the fam, so it's weird. I've never been an uncle before, so, and I'm the only uncle. I'm the only brother my sister has, so. So does the standard V3 just feel awesome being that light? I wonder if they make, because like I'm taking a bunch of standard cubes right now, because I like the way standard cubes feel. Like I was just saying, like my YS3M standard is actually I love. My WRM V9 standard I love. But what I'm going to do is I ordered BallCore kits from PyCube Shop, and I'm going to add BallCores to the YS3M standard, the WRM V9 standard. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of go crazy with the whole BallCore situation, just because I mean it's just kind of cool. You can make any cube. Oh, see that? So this is the PyCube Shop Special Edition V9, and I gotta say, after cubing on every single cube here this afternoon, this one feels the best. Like there's no question this is my main. If I was going to a comp today, I would put both of these in my bag. I'd probably throw both my V5s in the bag as backup, and go. Yeah, that's why I was thinking like, how cool would it be to be able to just like get a BallCore or magnetic core and put that into the standard, and you get the light, ness and the matte plastic and all that of the standard, but with the high-end features. Like that's what I'm kind of looking for. That's why like even the RS3M 2020 won't be matte plastic because this is a UV cube, but I'm essentially going to take an RS3M 2020 and give it every feature that a new cube has except for a 20 magnet core. Yeah, I'm like, so that's why I do the RS3M V5 standard for the giveaways. Like not only is it affordable, but I truly love that cube. Like I'm not pulling anyone's leg. I'm not saying that because it's cheaper. Like I got one as a gift from the cubicle, and I just sat there just like doing H perms like on that matte plastic too. Like I really hadn't had a cube that was matte plastic in a long time. That was one of the first standard cubes I had gotten, because I didn't actually buy it, they gave it to me. So I was like, cool, I'll try this. And No, it's not just you. The standards are nice. They're great cubes. That's why I'm very curious if because I can always take the ball core back out too. That's why I want to try putting a ball core in it and seeing like is this going to be really amazing? Like is it going to be light and have the stability of the ball core and all that? Like that's what I'm excited to find out. Um, I find it kind of annoying how the maglev squeaks. Uh, that's literally the opposite. Like usually you get spring noise, not maglev noise. Like what? Did your maglev get like wet? Did it rust or something? Because that's like literally the point. Is like people usually say that maglev is silent and springs make noise. Like that's exactly what one of the reasons I take them out of mine is because I don't like that springs make noise. They grind on the plastic. Also, springs wear out faster than magnets do. Um, so your maglev makes squeaks? That's crazy. I wonder if it's like a defect because I've never heard of maglev cube squeak before. So I think that's why I like this V9 Special Edition so much too, is because it's kind of bare bones. It's just got the ball core. I mean, it's nothing more than just a UV coated ball core cube. So it's you know it's only one step up from the standard. Essentially, it just has a ball core added. Um, yeah, I will. I'll do a whole video on the mod process because I'm very curious how it's going to change. Um, That's so weird, Ruben. I almost wonder if you should contact the company and be like, "Yo, why does my cube squeak? Like, what's up with that?" Yes, that's very true. That's what I was saying about the YS3. It's just faster and almost it's not uncontrollable. It's just it's sloppy feeling compared to the ball core. But see, like it's not necessarily just the ball core because like the ball core UV version of the YS3M that feels fine. It's not too fast. It stops like on the nose, like on the dot every time. I mean, I'm flicking hard. I have to flick really hard for it to go past a U1. But it's I think honestly it's the edge repelling magnets, it's the 20 magnet cores. Like I think that there is a place William, are you like a mind reader? Are you a fortune teller? That'd be really cool. core in the centers. Yeah, if you take the pieces out, they just fall. They're not, yeah, they are not attached. That is very true. That was lucky. Mama, I seem to be so much better. That is not a PLL. There it is. Man, that was... So, William, that is literally what our giveaway cube is this week. I am magnetizing and UV coating over a stickered cube. Yeah, if you check out any of my videos, especially the recent giveaway ones, we're taking a stickered Maylong and I'm going to magnetize it, UV coat it, get a pretty nice lube setup going, and then give that away to someone. But yeah, I've UV coated a lot of stickers. I used to just I don't like the grime that gets around the edge of the stickers. So a lot of times, like if I had a logo, that was a sticker logo, I would clean it around the edge and then I would UV coat just that one piece. So I mean, you could just take it off if you want and you just use acetone. But like if you want to leave it there, it gets no more dirt and grime around it, and they don't give you any problem about that at like events or anything. Yeah, that's like the YS3M is great. The YR3M. That just made me laugh because it's like a combination of RS3M and YS3M. The YR3M. But yeah, I don't think there was anything wrong with any of the versions. That's the only reason I'm being kind of harsh on this 20 magnet version, is because I think that they had it fine. I think they had it nailed. Again, it's still a great cube. I mean, and again, now since I've tightened it, it feels a lot more stable. Like I think that initial like instability was just because it was loose, but again, compared to most people's standards, that's not loose. That's pretty tight. So like maybe too, like could be that some of the other layers just not even. Like this white seems like it needs to be tightened. So William, is there anything that you'd like to see, like besides sticker? Because like I said, I'm currently stickering or UV coating a stickered cube. What other projects would you like to see? I'm always really interested to see what people, you know. Yes, I do know him. I mean, we don't hang out. I don't know him personally, but we've talked a bunch. Plus, I live by Jacob, and yeah, I was just on. I literally was just in his stream last night, but just to say hi. I just went in there for like 2 minutes just to say what's up. So it's interesting because as tight as this cube is, like it's getting tighter and tighter. I keep tightening other sides and whatnot, but it's still over 45 corner cut. So like it's not that the performance hasn't been hindered really. So maybe you just need it this tight. We're doing a polymer coating at the moment. I'm working with someone else, another U-cuber at the moment. We're working on polymer coatings. But yeah, Megaminx Cuber, God, why can't I think of his name, his actual name, but he's right here in Colorado near me. That's why like me, Jacob Noakes, and him all live in a like similar area. Same with like Z3 Cubing lives in this area. Like I saw Z3 at my last comp. That was like the slowest sledge of all time. I paused so bad. Oh, there you go. That's when you think your V perm or your A perm is a V perm, you end up with a J perm. Why does UV stays on without rubbing up? So with UV coating, there's a curing process. So like the stuff that I use, there is actually like a coating that does come off. Like, so I'll coat it and then I use alcohol and I wipe it off at the end, and it takes off like any of the bumps or like imperfections, but it leaves like a thin coating behind, and that alcohol also helps after because the light cures it obviously. But then like after that, the alcohol has a chemical reaction with it that cures and hardens it. And I mean, I've heard of some people saying their MOU and like GAN UV coating chips off after long enough and enough use and whatnot. But personally, I don't really have it. I haven't had any issue with that yet. Maybe I just need to be harder on my cubes. But yeah, UV coating shouldn't wear off very easily. Like I said, if anything, it takes. I mean, a polymer coating should be pretty permanent. Yeah, there's a lot of people have been asking about vapor polishing lately too, because it's the new fad or whatever. But um, it's interesting because I really am a chemist. I find that interesting. But it's very easy to mess up your project, and it'd be very easy to ruin a good cube and whatnot. So I just caution anyone that's trying to vapor polish that maybe try something else first. But UV coating, if it's done well, it should last years. Like the stuff I use is technically like a gel coat for your nails, but like it lasts longer on my cube than it's last on anyone's nails ever. But that's because you use your fingers for everything. It gets chipped off and whatnot. Where for some reason when it's on a nice thick coating on the cube, it stays on for a while. And the stuff that I use actually doesn't leave a thick coating either. I've actually weighed them before and after to see how much weight and everything it has. What do you mean it should? Well, it can come off if you want to use nail polish remover. It will come off easily. I'm just saying it shouldn't just chip off. Like, oh, shouldn't come off. Yeah, so I thought you said should. There was no N in there, so I misread it. But yeah, UV coating should stay on, absolutely. What's up, buddy? Welcome. Yes, vapor polishing is not actually a coating whatsoever. It is literally just melting your cube. That's why I say I don't. That's why I was giving a big disclaimer about anyone trying to maybe do that. Because like, especially because like perfect example like Mega Minx Cuber, he does that, and like if you guys go in there, you might think it's really simple and easy and basic, and then you might end up melting. Especially if you say you put like a GAN 12 or something like get your cube you really love in there, or a super way long, and then you come back, you know, an extra 2 minutes later, and the whole thing's warped. If you use nail polish remover, yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, if you use acetone, it'll come off. I mean, even the stuff on your MoU or GAN cubes will come off with that. Oh, awesome! There was someone else just talking about waiting for their GAN cube too. That's the one I have as well. How long? So you don't like the X-Men? I'm actually really appreciative that you brought that up because I've always been like curious how that is. It's not good. And how long, Ishan, is that how you pronounce it? What are you asking how long to? Man, finally. Something sub 30 got a hand. Between the cold hands and just talking, I finally had talk. Oh, they do? I always wondered if that extra wing like gave a better grip or anything, but if if it if it pops and there's performance problems, it's not worth it. Oh, so vapor polish, it really shouldn't wear away, like, 'cause it's not a coating. You're literally like, that's why it gets rid of scratches. That's like really the only thing I think it's good for, essentially, is like if you have scratches or something, you could put it in vapor polish like in the acetone container for a short time, and it will help get rid of those scratches. But you don't necessarily need to do the full like 5 to 10 minutes, to get the full shiny effect. But vapor polish should be like permanent, where UV coating, because you're actually putting a coating on. Again, vapor polish is not a coating; it's just melting the existing layer of plastic that's there. Um, so I haven't fully finished the polymer project yet, so I can't say for sure yet. Oh, okay, good to know. So yeah, at this moment, I mean, even UV coating your cube, like, it does change the feel. Like, you're gonna add like so this is where again maybe the one other positive about vapor polishing is it doesn't add any extra weight, because you're not actually adding anything. You're literally taking the existing surface and just changing it. So like for me, I only will usually UV coat a lighter cube, because say you took like this RS3M 2020 that's like 87 grams and UV coated it, like, it's gonna be over 90 grams or around 90 grams at that point, and I don't know if I'd recommend that. Um, But yeah, UV coating comes out really nice if you're patient, if you follow the directions and everything, and do what you should do. Like, if you kind of keep the lights low so the lights don't start curing it as you're applying it to the cube. Keep the room cool, because the heat will also start curing it. And curing is just hardening, so you want it to stay liquid as long as possible. So if you need to adjust or fix anything, say a little piece of dust gets in there and you need to pick it out, if you want it to be perfectly flat, you need it to stay liquid as long as possible. So after you're done fixing any little imperfections, you want to let it sit for like a full 10 minutes if you can. And if it's in a room that's dark and cool and doesn't have a lot of dust flying around and stuff, because I even spray a water bottle in the air around mine to catch the dust and bring it down to the floor. So that way the coating just goes as perfectly glassy as possible. And after like between 5 and 10 minutes of sitting there leveling, that's when I'll hit it with the light and it comes out perfect. But again, it's a process, and it is a learning curve. Like, I know my first cube, like I was just saying, the first one I ever did was like this, and it looks good, but like there are some like you can see like a little ripple on this one. Like, it's not perfectly flat. And I mean, it just depends on your level of like I've said this many times. I have a little bit of OCD, so like that's one reason I didn't rush the giveaway project this week, is because I want it to look really good. Especially if I'm going to be UV coating over the stickers and stuff. It's something that like I've done individual stickers, but I've never UV coated an entire stickered cube, and I just want it to look really good. Like, I can just imagine around where the sticker edges are, the UV coating could kind of pool up, and I don't know if this is going to be a good thing or a bad thing, but I imagine it's going to make the UV coating like take away the edge of the sticker, because it's going to kind of taper off. Instead of being like a sharp edge where the sticker ends, it's going to kind of slowly taper off with the UV coating, and so hopefully, it doesn't take away the feeling that people like from stickered puzzles. But yeah, personally, I'm super excited to get into like BallCoring these standard cubes. Like, I know everyone was just saying how like people will just throw BallCore in for no reason, but like I personally, like I said, I do these things with a lot of intention behind. Um, like I said, I personally pick really light cubes on purpose. So if I'm adding maglev or UV coating or adding a BallCore or anything, it's to a cube that's already light. So like the YS3M is probably the only exception to that, because this is kind of a heavy cube in general. But like the WRM V9 standard, like, how do I know that if I don't just add a BallCore, this could be just like my favorite main. I mean, I think it feels amazing as it is. It's one of the fastest standard cubes. This and the RS3M V5 I think are my very favorites. And this is another one where like you had to kind of tighten it. It's so fast that like if you don't tighten it down, it's almost a little uncontrollable as a standard cube. So hopefully the BallCore will help stabilize things. It will hopefully give us a little bit of little extra pull when we get to that 90-degree mark. Because if you look, like as I flick, it's really easy to get like a non-90-degree rotation, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. Yeah, I think the internet's being funny. Let me, one second. Is that any better? It was lagging on my screen for just a second, but is that any better? It won't affect the color, no, William, not at all, because it's clear. And the one nice thing about it, as much as it like, at least the stuff that I use, it's not very like stinky. So I would assume that it has a little bit less harsh of chemicals. So it doesn't affect your. I mean, I've actually done a tutorial on how to remove UV coating, and I've taken UV coating that's been on there for months, and I've actually removed it, and it peels off like a sticker, like a band-aid. I mean, it comes off clean, leaves no change to the surface below. Is it you said, is it better now? I closed out the like YouTube page. I was hoping that would kind of. I'm just using a streaming app at this point. Okay, cool. Just want to make sure before I went into this whole spiel. But yeah, William, it shouldn't affect it at all. That's the nice thing. Like I said, I took some off. I had to remove some logos so I could make them comp legal again. And I just took a little bit of, like, if you use 100% acetone, you have a good chance of melting your cube or melting something around it. Because even in vapor polishing, it's not actually touching the cube. It's just vapor that's touching it. So if you would apply it directly, it's going to be a little bit harsh. But nail polish remover, which is watered down, that's what I used. And I just took the tiniest little bit on a little paper towel and just, I mean, I was taking it off of one piece. And I just could notice it started coming off, and as soon as the sticker was exposed, I just peeled it, and it peeled the whole UV coating off, like almost like a piece of skin or something. I know it's gross, but like, it comes off clean, is my point. Nice, bro. Keep pushing. Do you post any of these solves? Well, if you got my email, my email's on the my page, and it's in the description. So if you ever want to Is it glitching again? It looks glitchy on my screen. I was just messing with you guys. Is it still? Mine started glitching for a second, but then it got better. That's very good. You should be happy with that. Okay, I got the timer hooked up. Yeah, the 20 magnet V9 I think is if you're gonna go 20 mag, this is the one to do. What the heck was that? It's the second time I'm mistaken my A perm for a V perm. I almost never get A perms. Hey, what's up, Anthony? Dude, that's so funny that you said that about the VinCube, because I literally said that when I took it out of the box, it smelled like it looks like they coated it and like put it right into the box afterwards, and that's just hilarious that you said that, because even the way it leaves a fingerprint, like I've done so much of this UV coating now that like just even the way it leaves a fingerprint with like a little lube on it, like I could see just I literally I was like, it looks like they use the same stuff that I use, and it just made me think. Um, Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like it smells like it, and like I said, I'm very familiar. Even like the fact that it's a little grippier, like that's all a big sign to me. Like I feel like they literally had someone sit there and like paint these, which is really sad if they did, but yeah, it's I mean, you can still kind of smell it. I mean, so just Anthony, just FYI, if like I know because I've already done it, this stuff reacts the same way as the stuff I use. If you take like a paper towel or like a terry cloth that doesn't have any like, you know, like lint or whatever, and put alcohol on it and wipe it down on each side, it will harden and extra cure your UV coating, and it'll make it even more like glassy, and like it improves the feel, everything. It's pretty amazing. Um, and I keep getting that glitch. I can see it too. Yeah, no, I was joking. If they did all those cubes, oh my god, that'd be insane. But yeah, no, that makes sense because like you can even see the imperfections. Like it's not perfectly level. There's like little waves in it. Um, but yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, no, I definitely don't think there's actually a lady sitting there. That would be that'd be. I don't even want to make that joke. Never mind. That'd be unbelievable though. Yeah, I always figured either they have some type of like I don't know, like a misting spray, like a halo that goes around, and as it goes through, it gets like very evenly coated, and then they flip it. I've always wondered exactly how they do it on the assembly line scale, because it's definitely assembly line done. I mean, and I'm curious because some cubes come out so much better than others. Like I have some cubes like I don't know. That's why I honestly wondered if they vapor polished some of these, like did a giant vapor polish on some of these Hong cubes or like some of the Moyu cubes, because there's like a depression in the middle of the piece, like around the ridge. There's like a raised ridge, and it almost feels like that's where the plastic started to melt down, and then they took it out just in time and let it sit and harden and everything. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, it's not. I don't work there, um, but yeah, I got the 20 magnet YS3M, and it's been not my favorite, to be honest. I kind of like the other YS3 versions almost better. Yeah, no, I was joking, man. Gan definitely doesn't hand coat all those cubes. Yeah, see, that's what I mean. GANs look nice. That's why I'm curious, like, what they do on the mass scale. Like, what are they doing to mass produce those? And like the Moyu cubes look nice too. I just meant like there's always like a ridge. I don't know if I'm the only one that notices. Especially like even on the like if you look at the new. If I can get it on. This is the V3. Like you can definitely see like ridges around each piece, and I just I mean, I could see like very easily setting up a giant vapor polish, like almost like a tent. And you just like put all your cubes in there and just whoop, and then just pump in the fumes even. Like, I don't know. I could see a lot of different ways to do it. But I don't. Again, I don't think they're doing that. I just a funny thought. Yeah, it sounds like the Vin Cube's getting kind of mixed reviews. Some people like it, some don't. Like I said, I'm waiting on my core magnetized version to really pass my final judgment. Although, like I said, I'm not a huge MGC fan, so like this was a little bit hard to get, and then or for me to buy, and then I found out they had a core magnetized version, so now I'm gonna have my MGC, a Vin, and a core magnetized Vin. So are you from overseas, William? Is that how you know, or are you just in close with the GAN people? And I believe handmade, but I'm saying not hand UV coated. I don't think that they're hand UV coating all of their cubes. They make way too many cubes to sit there and do that by hand. But yeah, anyone have any cool plans for tomorrow? Oh yeah, I've seen the videos and stuff. And again, they're hand like assembling them, but that's different than hand UV coating. Because assembly takes like like maybe a minute or something per cube, but like um, hey. Man, it's getting. See if I can turn down the video settings a little bit to help it. Hmm. There?
Oh, you're done?
No?
Oh, sorry. Dinner at 6:30.
But yeah, I'm a huge, yeah, I know. I'm probably gonna. What it is that it's the frame rate and everything is too high, and it's demanding too much right now. It says right here, encoding overload. Consider turning down your video settings. So I've just been trying to give you guys a high resolution picture, but I guess I need to turn it down a little bit. I gotta go in a little bit here anyways, so I'll figure I'll push through for a minute here, because I can see when it's lagging. It lags on my end too. I know, right? I wish. Um, so it's funny because I mean, I would like to one day. I'm working on some projects with some people, um, and we're trying to come up with some things uh, that would be worth developing. Because right now I feel like a lot of the mods, so far have been pretty straightforward, at least in my mind. But um, yeah, if we come up with something like you were bringing up Chris Tran, if we come up with something like a good lube or a good like design for a cube or like a real modification that like someone hasn't thought of, then I would absolutely think to bring that to market. Like, because I think that people are more open to ideas than you think, especially if it's going to make them money. Cookie jar, 2 more. Oh, swear I hate that when it's like it was a snake, it would have bit you. It's right there. Open your eyes. Yes, this is the 5x5 Hong. Hey, well, good having you, Ruben. Sorry if it was a little laggy at the end here. Yeah, this is the X-Men Hong. It's been my main since I got it. I really like it. There's a few people have a few complaints about it, um, like the outer layers just aren't magnets aren't strong enough. There's a few things, but overall I really like it. I think compared to what the other options I had, like I have the MGC, I have the Aoshuang, I have just like the 4x4s, I have like the MGC 4x4, the Moyu 4x4, I have the Meilong 4x4, I have the YJ Mini, I have same with 5x5. And so when this came along, um, honestly, the Meilong 5x5 was one of my favorites because it's light. It's this same size almost, but it's just a little heavier. But this is UV coated, has a BallCore, has a lot of things going for it that the Meilong does not. But for an under $10 5x5, the Meilong is amazing. I have to say, like anyone that wants a budget 5x5 that turns amazing, get the Meilong. Like I got it as like a joke almost. My family ordered it for me off of Temu, and because they just knew I liked cubes, and it turned out that it was one of my favorite 5x5s for the longest time. Um, it got me to get the Meilong 4x4. It got me to try a lot of different things. Yeah, sorry for the lag on this one. I'll change the video settings before my next live stream, and I'll make sure that it's all set up right. Because that's got to be frustrating for it to. I also think it might just be the internet. My internet's running slow, it looks like. So is anyone cubing on anything really new or good recently? What cubes are you guys on? Do you guys solve any big cubes at all? Just out of curiosity? I Oh, I might have to. I might just have to restart it. I mean, if it's working, is yours slow or is it looking right now? I wish it just looked the same for me as it did for you. It'd be much easier. Oh, is it? Cause man, I got the 356M back when I first started cubing, and I loved it. I still love it to this day. Um, so you liked it though? You liked the 356 maglev? And I'm a fan of maglevs, so I could see liking that cube as well. See, like right now it looks glitchy to me. Okay. He said, so you know the first. Oh, so the last layer is literally like a 3x3. I mean, if you know how to do the first part of a 4x4, you know how to do and if you know how to solve 3x3, then you're set. So like the only thing you could run into is OLL parity, and that's where you just need one extra algorithm, just in case. Um, you have the X-Men, what the shadow, or what is the 4x4? I forget what it's called. My first ever speed cube was the Chi Warrior S. Since then, I put magnets, UV coating, and I've decked that thing out. And I took it to a comp actually, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, this thing is like a viable cube." And I was like, "Yeah, it's a good one. Like, it corner cuts. It's a solid cube all around." Well, I hope you like the cube. But yeah, so which X-Men 4x4 do you have? Because they have multiple. The X. Okay. Because I know there's like the Ambition, the Shadow, um, and I've been on a hunt for a good 4x4 for a long time, and it ended up with the Vin Cube being like the newest best option. But I was just looking at the X-Men 4x4s, and I was just curious. So how do you like it? At one lockup, I was like trying to get that last. Um, really? And you said that's the X-Men Ambition. All right, I'll have to check it out. Thank you for that recommendation. Oh, because yeah, I had my eye on that one, and I personally like, even though some other people kind of like have like, I don't know, a lot of people I know like the Hong, but I've had a few like pros say that it's just not perfect or whatever. But I love the Hong, so I would love if they had another cube that felt like this. Does it feel like this, but just a 4x4, and obviously without a magnetic core or UV coating? Like I know there's obviously gonna be some differences, but oh, no worries, Bacon BLT. You're always missed. Whoa, I did something funny. See, and now I finally get a V perm, and I was like, wait, is that an 8 perm? I gotta make sure. So Nika, what are your times like on 4x4 and 5x5? Just out of curiosity. I'm still trying to get fast. I've been I have a problem where I kind of interesting. Well, like I said, I'm gonna have to try that because I'm willing. From what I remember too, it's not that expensive, and I feel like it's worth trying out. You know. So I think I gotta run here. I have to go have dinner here. Um, again, this was just kind of a. I know this wasn't a planned live stream, so I appreciate you guys for even showing up. I usually do Wednesdays and Sundays, but like I said, my nephew's t-ball game's tomorrow, so I figured I'd try and get one today, and then I'll fix my video settings, and if I can, I'll be back tomorrow, even if not at 3 o'clock in the evening. But I'm gonna try and still stick to the 3 o'clock time schedule. That's 3 o'clock Mountain Time, so it'd be 2 o'clock West Coast and 5 o'clock East Coast. Sorry, it took me a second. Um, well, and maybe then that's good though, because sometimes you get what you pay for. You know what I mean? Like sometimes all these cheap cubes, it's like they're fine or whatever, but like the Vin Cube and the MGC, I feel like they're trying to be budget, but like I would rather them just be really high quality, and I'd rather pay for it. To be honest, like I know there's great cubes out there for great prices, but like I'm one of those people where when it comes to my like main that I'm gonna cube on every day and like practice on, I'd much rather pay the extra $20 or whatever and have it be like mwah, like premium chef's kiss. Nice. So do you compete then? Yeah, if you're just over a minute, man, you're gonna go into comps like not even like people, I know some people do it in like 30 seconds or whatever, but it still takes me like a minute 30. Like you would be doing great. I would go in there and start doing it because the people there are usually so friendly and so nice that there's really nothing to be like worried or anything about. Like I mean, I know when I for my first comp, I just didn't want to look like the slowest person there. Didn't care if I won necessarily. I just didn't want to be the worst. But there's like parents that compete. There's, you know, every different type of people. There's young kids. Like, it's just really about having fun and supporting the whole cubing community. The whole thing's gone out of focus. Um, but yeah, I would consider it if I were you. That's a good time. Um, and yeah, I think what are you from the U.S.? The only reason I asked is to see if I could find comps for you. Alright guys, as soon as I get sub. Alright, but I'm just telling you, you'd have fun, and again, no one's gonna, you know, second guess or even make a face or anything. If you get a minute 10 or something, people would be stoked. You know, people would be stoked for you. That's a good time still. Like, I think you'll be surprised at how well you do when you go. But alright guys, I gotta cut it. I gotta go for dinner here. So hopefully you guys have a good evening. I will be back, like I said, tomorrow. I'll be back if I can at 3 p.m. Mountain Time. Oh, North Carolina, nice. I have some friends that are from North Carolina. Like, actually, my boss for my other job is from North Carolina. Him and his wife. No, you really aren't. Like I said, I went to a comp and I didn't have a chance to get into registration in time, so I just watched. And like, I'm slower than you are, and I was like, oh, I should be competing. Like, um, yeah, you should definitely just do it because, like I said, you're gonna be pleasantly surprised that you're faster than you think. And yeah, I mean, no matter where you're from. I mean, you can even check the WCA rankings for the people that are registered in that comp, so you can kind of see what the other people in that you might be, you know, against, what their times are. But the thing about cubing is you're not really racing anyone. You're racing yourself. I mean, most people have their headphones on, like with note to block out the sound. They're just focused on just what they're doing. I mean, no one's really worried about what anyone else is doing. So, I mean, like, even if you just got middle of the road times, like, it's all about beating your own personal bests and stuff. That's why they call it PB and stuff, is because it's your personal best, not like the, you know, the country's best or the, you know, state's best. Like, it's always about bettering your own personal record. So I just think you should do it because those are some good times, and I think you'll have fun with it. Um, Nice. I was just running to dinner. I was just doing 5x5 as well. It's so funny. How's your day going? I slipped this live stream in here because I think tomorrow I'm gonna be at my nephew's t-ball game. So I'm gonna plan on doing it still at the normal time if you guys want to come. But just in case, I wanted to make sure I did something this weekend. But so who's your team? You have a team for March Madness? And actually, I got a great time. I wasn't on the screen. I forgot to put it up there, but like, I got like a for me, which was pretty good. It was like a 230 on 5x5, so that was awesome. I'm still trying to get my 5x5 to sub 2s and my 4x4 to sub 1s. Essentially, is my goal right now. That, and then on 3x3, I'm just trying to get reduce rotations, increase efficiency of cross and F2L. Those are my two main goals. That's the other thing, Nika. If you're going to go to a comp, set some goals for yourself. And again, these are personal goals, not like, you know, don't set it to like beat someone or something, but like set a goal like, okay, I want to try and get this time in comp. And even if you say you don't get that time, then the next comp you go to, you have, oh, for sure. But then next comp you go to, you have something, okay, well, I wanted to do this time last time, I didn't get it, let's set that as the goal for this time, and you'll have time to practice, and it'll keep you reaching for a new goal each time, and it'll keep you worried about more what you're doing than what other people are doing. That's like the best advice I can give you is, set some small goals for yourself, and just worry about you, because you're going to have fun, and there's going to be cool people there. And thank you. I never feel like it's very good, so I appreciate you saying that. But yeah, it was just pretty much I was reviewing I got the WRM 20 mag, I got the YS3M 20 mag. I got all the new kind of MOU cubes, and I was just doing a little review, and the YS3M 20 mag I feel like is a little unnecessary. I had to tighten the bejesus out of it to get it to be uncontrollable, and then honestly, then I brought out my old BallCore UV, and I preferred this one. I think cheaper price, and I just think it's better. The other one's just a little too sloppy feeling. But yeah, you guys have a great evening. Like I said, hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. Nika, I know I don't think I've seen you in here before. Just so you know, like I said, we have Wednesday and Sunday live streams. We would love to have you back. But yeah, you guys have a beautiful night. Enjoy March Madness. What's the weather like up in Canada, man? I want to go up there so bad. I want to move. I'm moving down to Long Beach, and I couldn't be like any more going in the polar opposite direction. But yeah, also after trying all those 20 mag ones, it just makes me feel like that's the special edition, the SE WRM V9 is just it. This is my cube. Like I do like the what is it, I do like the 20 magnet WRM also, but it's gonna take a bit to get my turning style to fit that, because it's very fast and it's very, very responsive to like the littlest little flicks. So that's gonna take some time for me. Sorry, I'm just cleaning up. I always make a mess during these because I don't get a chance to like put things away as I'm going, but that was perfect timing. I'm hungry. Yeah, you too, man. Enjoy the games, and if there is anything exciting that happens, let me know, because I'm not gonna be watching. So, but I do like sports. It still trips me out, I swear, how close. Like, I didn't have an RS3M 2020 for so long, and it just trips me out really bad how close the RS3M 2020 is to the YS3M. I mean, I know the internals are different, but it's crazy how close. Just like how the MGC and the VIN look identical on the outside, but it's the internals that make the difference. Hey, buddy. Sorry, I was just about to go have dinner for the night. So happy to see you, but we're gonna close it out. I was just telling everyone I'll be back tomorrow. Today was an unplanned live stream. I just kind of jumped on for fun. So hopefully we'll see you back tomorrow around 3 o'clock Mountain Time. And yeah, you guys have a beautiful night. And good day and yellow. Oh, and my new favorite saying is kindness is contagious, so spread it. I love that. I have a shirt that says kindness is contagious, and I was like, well, usually things that are contagious you don't want to spread, but we should spread this one. So I'll leave you guys with that. Have a beautiful night, and hopefully I will see you all tomorrow. Peace.